case scenario 1. All right, Mary, do you want to read it for me?
While at work, Nina frequently makes personal phone calls to her friends. Her conversations are loud and generously sprinkled with foul and obscene language. Her coworkers in nearby cubicles cannot help but overhear her conversations. Can Nina's behavior be interpreted as sexually harassing? We all were in agreement, yes. Because she can take it outside, she's using foul and obscene language.
Especially if she's using a work phone.
And at work.
That's not appropriate. If you do want to have a personal conversation, like we've had personal phone calls before and be like, hey, I'm going to step into the back and take this. Or, shut my office door, which I know not everybody can use, but if they need to have a private conversation, then we find a way for them to be able to do that. Swearing, using obscene, maybe she, on the video I think it talks, some ladies talking about getting drunk at the bar the night before, so just things that are not always work appropriate. So the paper says that it is, her coworkers may view it as offensive and unwelcome, and they may believe that the behavior creates a hostile work environment. Maybe they know on Mondays she talks about what she did all weekend, so they don't want to come to work on Monday morning because they don't want to hear about it. So it could create an environment that is unpleasant or unwelcoming to them. Who has number 2?
I do. Mihal persists in asking his coworker Maria out for dinner, even though she turns him down each and every time he asks. She has told him several times to stop asking. Mihal's behavior does not constitute sexual harassment because sexual harassment can only occur between a male boss and a female subordinate. False.
Right. Harassment frequently involves power relationships. Sexual harassment may occur between coworkers and may not necessarily affect a reporting relationship. So it could be people from 2 different departments. It could be people that are at the same level. It doesn't necessarily have to be from one to the other. If Maria finds the request unwelcome and he persists on asking her out in spite of her clear statement that she does not want to date him, his behavior does constitute sexual harassment. These scenarios all have really weird names, and after I typed like 3 of them, I'm like, God, I should have changed these because like
Miha.
guys, yeah, Miha and Nina and
whatever it is.
all right, number 3.
Susanna and Bill enjoy a great working relationship and have recently started dating. They can't seem to get enough of each other. They take breaks and lunch together and are often seen flirting at the coffee machine. They are clearly infatuated with each other. Romance has no place at work. This couple's behavior is clearly at risk for sexual harassment. True or false, and explain why.
We're anti-love, so we went with true.
You guys were having quite the discussion over there.
I was trying to be the heckler and go with false, but I couldn't really get a good argument going. So
You
we
should
went
have
with true.
trusted your gut.
Yeah, I was going to say, I still go with false because there was no rules.
No romance
We're told us.
should not be at the workplace. But I think that they can have a relationship outside of work, but just not like at the copier, like kissing and stuff like that, maybe.
There's like not any like nationwide or statewide rules on dating. It could be a violation of company policy if they were dating a coworker. Not necessarily harassment. If they have a consensual relationship, it's not harassment. However, if they are being really affectionate in the workplace, that might cross the line. But yep, as far as dating a coworker, then
I was going with more of the acts of. Like,
yeah, if they are,
Not with the love.
Don't let your
I'm
man be
definitely
lost.
not anti-love. You said true too. I didn't lose
True and
nothing.
false.
it does say
I
in
still
here
win.
though that romances may go sour, and that might lead to some issues.
Should've went
If
with
they
that.
break up and oh, he's being a
Should've been
jerk,
better
or
than
she's stalking me, or could go all sorts of places after that. All right, you guys had 2 because one of them didn't seem to take you very long. So
No. Okay, the one that we had something to talk about was number 4. So Ron and Judy, advertising sales executives, travel together on a week-long business trip. In the taxi ride from the airport to the hotel, Judy snuggles next to Ron and tries to hold his hand. Ron strongly objects and Judy backs off. While Ron finds Judy's behavior offensive and unwelcome, the regulations on sexual harassment in the workplace are not relevant since they are traveling outside of the workplace. True or false?
I changed the names for this one. Their names were Timur and Olga. So I'm like, Bill and Judy sound better. So what do you guys think?
False.
False.
Yeah, I mean, they're
still
coworkers.
working.
They're working, right? They're on a business trip. The rules would. We went to a harassment training where a woman had been raped on a business trip, and her boss was like, "Well, it didn't count because we weren't at the office." Well, that's not really,
That's terrible.
really a good way to look at it. It's still illegal, but yeah. So I mean, just because there was drinking and there was some other circumstances involved, but the argument was that it didn't happen at work, so it didn't fall under their workplace guidelines.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Obviously, if it's happening while they're working, regardless of whether they're in the work building or not, then it's still against regulations. But my question is, it says, and Judy backs off. So does Ron have a sexual harassment complaint against her? She backed off when he objected.
I would still investigate it, just to maybe have, say something happens in the future. And, well, you've already done this to me once. Well, if you didn't report it, it's kind of hard, yes, she did back off, but it's good to bring it up anyway, just, in case something would happen. And that's, as the victim or as the person that's offended, it's, your job to voice your concern. Hey, this makes me uncomfortable, or please don't do that. You have a responsibility too to let the party know that it's not welcome. Or what was your other one?
I got a question about the first
Yeah.
one. It's really weird and confusing question, but or maybe it's not. What if she cuddled up with him, and at first he didn't really like it, and then he felt more comfortable about it, and he started doing it to her, and then she tried dude, get off me, kind of stuff.
I don't
No,
know.
I
What
think
do you
that
think
probably
they both should be out of there.
happens more than you would think,
Huh?
actually. I said, I think that probably happens
I think
more
that's
than you would
a
think.
realistic thing.
The circumstance actually had him hitting on her, and I was like, I'm gonna turn this around and have her.
I think they both should be fine.
Screw up.
We don't need that kind of wordplay around here.
If only it
But
was
that turns into a whole other situation,
Yeah.
because she had originally initiated it, so then,
If he thought she was
Yeah.
interested, then he's
Yeah.
just returning the affection. Yeah, that would be good
It'd be a
question.
weird
but
situation.
it would be a weird situation.
You'd have fun with that one.
There's not ever any weird things that happen.
Right.
So.
Everything's pretty black and white down here. So that
Do you want to read your other one just so we can?
Anton is a VP of marketing in his company and has hired Rosa as his assistant. Sometime after she started working, Anton tells Rosa that to continue her employment, she must have sex with him. Rosa refuses and is fired shortly after that for no reason. Rosa is the target of sexual harassment. True or false?
What kind of harassment? Does anybody know what the word for that is?
Sexual coercion.
It's called quid pro quo.
Oh yeah.
It's you need to do something for something. So you need to have sex, Rosa. You need to have sex with me to keep your job, or
What's it? How do you
Yeah,
say it
it's
again?
quid pro quo.
Yes. I learned about that.
Yeah. If you want to move up in the company, you need to go on a date with me, or
And it doesn't just have to be sexual, though, does it? For the quid
no,
pro
it
quo,
wouldn't have to
could
be.
Do
Yeah.
this.
If
whatever.
you want to be promoted, then stop putting overtime on your time sheet. I mean, it could be something like that.
And then if they were fired, that's
Yes,
the quid
like if
pro
they,
quo, if
yeah.
they actually
if-
get let go or something. That's
Yep, yep. Patty had mentioned that she had a situation that she wanted, an example of harassment that she wanted to share.
I worked in a factory in Waterloo, and I was one of 3 girls that worked the third shift. It was all male that, it was all male, like, I don't know, 20-somethings. I was probably, I was in like 40s. Doesn't matter, but drugs were rampant on that shift, and they talked really nasty, very nasty. So the girl and I was working with went and told our boss. We had retaliation then from the guys. It got worse. So we had to we started writing things down that was happening to us, and then took it to his supervisor. Nothing was done. Nothing. We got hold of an attorney. I truly ended up in a psychiatric unit. My life was threatened. Then there was rumors started spreading then that you were out in the car giving sexual favors to guys and during lunch breaks, and it was horrid. It was extremely horrid, and she ended up in the psychiatric unit too, but we got a hold of Roxanne Conklin in Des Moines. She's like the super best sexual harassment attorney, and we had to have all kinds of meetings with all these guys, face them, you know, in a controlled environment, and our main supervisor and the CEO both started crying. You know, it's like, what? But anyway, we ended up taking them. I think we finally settled out, but it was like, you know, I can't talk about that. But it's a horrid thing. It's truly a horrid thing to have happen to you. That's all I want to say. It's unbelievable. You wouldn't even think stuff like that, you know, goes on, but you know, they harassed this one girl. She quit, you know, and we weren't gonna quit. I liked my job. It was great money, but I mean, after you're pelted on like that all the time, you know, and you're threatened with your life, then we just had to go. So this one girl, she would go out with them after our shift. She'd go to the bar, and that, you can see what happened, you know, was, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's bad.
Thank you for sharing. And in that circumstance, I would think, you know, the supervisor that you complain to has just as much responsibility as anyone. You
Exactly.
know, to turn a blind eye
And at that company, they worked themselves, they hired from within, you know, so they used to be one of the guys, and now they're here. You know, my direct supervisor, and his supervisor, and then the CEO, and they did a lot of investigation out there. They went back from us, and then, you know, the sad thing is that the plant closed. For a while, somebody else picked it up though and was doing it. But I mean, it was a great job, you know, for everybody if they could have. Yeah.
and I hope you never have that experience here. You know, if something is going on and you tell your supervisor and you don't feel like anything's getting done, come to me, come to Emily. Julie's not here a lot, but I mean, when she is here, go to Julie. We need to know. We can't fix things if we don't know about them. And not even with harassment. You know, if anything, you feel like you've taken issues to supervisor a couple times and they're not following through, definitely come to one of us so we can help you out and get things taken care of. So. Any other comments or suggestions? No? I'll let you guys go then. The half hour.
20 minutes.